Hey guys, let's do a quick end of the day update. So look, on the dollar, the weekly level, we've got two weekly closes above that old high from the end of last year. All right, so there was that double, you can call it a triple top. There's one, two, three highs right there. Um, so so anyway, we're basically through there, right? And now we clearly have an 8 that's rising, right? And so watch as these bands start to fan out. It's the same thing that happened down here, right? So you got to go. We have to stay with this trend. This could easily be another larger move here into the beginning of the year. All right. So the only thing that's going to change this uptrend is if we break 96. So if we remember, in 2015, this was a key higher low here at 92.5, 93. And then when we pulled back, we had stocks come off with the rate hike at the beginning of the year, and then the dollar actually came off, and this was the key level that needed to hold 92.5, 93 to keep this trend bullish. So now I'm telling you that this higher low was intact here, and now we're going to have another higher low right here that matters more to me. So as long as we're above 96 on the dollar index, you want to think dollar up. It's going to keep pressure on commodities, keep pressure on the metals markets, most of the softs, the grains. I mean, there's always going to be, different stories within the overall commodity picture where you can still have a commodity rally. But overall, the stronger this dollar gets, it's this similar, it causes stress on emerging markets. It's tough on commodities. It's tough on the multinationals. It's going to keep a lid on oil. So you get the dollar right, you're going to get a lot of things right. And that's still, I think, this is the key trend that we want to play. And we've been playing that on the short side. Now, I think this is interesting in the equities. Well, let's do the euro real quick. I mean, you guys don't really need me to go over the euro. We've touched on it so many times. But if you're kind of new to what we do, this is the main level here that we're looking, 104.60. If you break that, I expect you can have a waterfall type no bid environment here. Everybody's going to have that. If we break 104.60, the computers are going to go nuts. So we're not too far from testing that level. We basically, the low here from the end of the year was 105.23. So that's what we touched up against last week. Close enough, right? So still in a downtrend. And then big picture, the call is if we break the lows from last year, you're gonna go to par or parity pretty quick. And then from there, you could probably even see more follow through. So I think that right now looks like the setup into next year. I would think that they're going to see more dollar strength. Now, today, I mean, look, the Russells had a crazy, stupid move, right? After the Trump euphoria and everything else. So I think I counted 15 days off the lows straight up. Okay, now this is called a swing line setup in our model, and I won't go into it. But that's pretty clear. Short, stop above the high, and then we're looking for a retrace at least about halfway. Yeah, you could easily, there's a huge bullish wall the bulls just built about halfway, kind of puts you into this area. So I doubled my short today. Again, whatever you added today short, stop above the high. and we'll see if we get some follow through. If you don't, and you just reverse back higher, I mean that's gonna be ugly, because then you're gonna have what we call BCI, and there should be more follow through after that. Anyway, I'm gonna lean short with that break of the swing line. And then again, the first kind of place to cover is right in front of the bands here, 1307, 1308. So with that, if small caps break, they tend to reflect the higher growth, more speculative, higher growth area of the market. So S&P's barely cracked. I don't have a position there. I'm not really interested in one. I am long the Dow, which we've been taking profits on. All right, and didn't make any moves there today. And I did double my VIX position late in the day. So we'll see if if the Russell does crack, we could see the VIX pop back to 14. Who knows if it kind of snowballs? Maybe we go back to 16. I mean, there's definitely room to do so. And then when we look at the cycle, this daily cycle is starting to turn back up. So we're on the right side of the volatility. Daily cycle, let's just look at the weekly. Weekly still coming down, but the percent D is definitely low. All right. So we'll see if we can get more of a risk-off move into tomorrow. For those of you that missed it, we had a nice session this morning, day trading pound versus the yen. And I'll just give you a quick rundown. What we did was we came in this morning, we noticed the cycle was low on the 30-minute, went to the 15-minute, and although this trend was down, we played it small contrarian as the cycle was starting to rise. It actually crossed earlier in late in the London session, but we caught it right in here as it started to move back up. All right, and then what you had here was a TMS break on the micro time frame. And so without really explaining that, but what it looks like is when you have the 1 minute or the 5 minute trend actually break for up, which I was back here. So my traders knew when we got above this pivot high, we added here to our core long, okay, pretty aggressively, and then took profits into this move into the 200, rebought in here, and then we just worked this position, took profits, rebought, took profits, rebought, took profits. Most of our long we took here with the cycle, the 15-minute cycle. Then we trailed out, sold into the high, and I'll show you in a second. I'm not making that up. And then we went short right here, covered, reshort, cover, reshort, added to our position here on a break below this pivot low. And then this was a BCI in our setup. We actually added again there. Stop above the high here, covered, and then trailed out. And this was our trailing stop right here above this pivot, and we were out of the trade there. So let me show you guys that real quick. So this is what we do. This is why I started this company. This is what we teach. This is high-level trading, and it's really at a fraction of the cost. So you just don't get this anywhere else. So here was our move today. Oh, I got to switch off my pen. All right. So, I mean, we just nailed pretty much the entire move. We were long here near the lows, sold out on the high, dead ass high of the candle. So anyone says you can't pick tops, I mean, we do that all the time. You can buy the lows and sell the tops when you have a model and a process that works and you have enough time in the chair. You absolutely can sell the highs. And then we went short there, which is a different level of mastery. When you see the cycle turn, you won't be afraid to short with the bigger picture trend. Anyway, covered, short, cover, that's what I mean. There was our ad. This was our ad here. This is called a BCI in our setup. Stop above the high. As soon as we took out that low, we shorted right there. Cover, cover. Right. So look, guys, I mean, hey, join us if you want to learn to trade like this, FX, but we do it on other markets too. It doesn't really matter. The model applies to futures, stocks. Right. So this is just one example here on a simple account of what you can do just in that couple hours of trading. So that's real money, but the key is to be consistent. You can always add more zeros. It doesn't really matter what your buying power, what your equity is. What matters is the consistency and do you have a process. So look, guys, this is my active trader team. This is where I signal real-time alerts all day. You can see, I mean, look, these are just a few of our trades. We were buying the 5-year here this morning, swing trade. This was part of my trade this morning on pound yen. I'll show you some stuff at the end of the day. Here was euro versus New Zealand dollar. We've been shorting here, covered, reshort, covered this morning. I mean, these are just examples of some of the gains here. Just since this last move, the last couple of months, that position's up, 23 grand. Now it's just a small position left, but still. Okay, here we're reshorting oil. I was talking about selling into 47.5. That was basically the high today. All right, here's more of our pound yen trade. Here's the euro. Look, guys, sold the high, into the high, sold more, covered this today, a piece, still short. We've made a lot of money long dollar, short euro. All right, here's another example. I mean, these are kind of the results that we're getting. And so you can have real-time alerts with this type of performance for 150 bucks a month. I just challenge anybody to just show me where that type of real-time alert and that timing service exists across, forex, commodities, equities, options. All right, guys, so if you're interested in that, here's my site, jenkinsrm.com. You can put your email in here. It's free to join the chat room. And then here's my real-time alert service I just mentioned. All right, you can sign up there. And now this is my full access team. This is what I'm most excited about. So here I teach you the model. It's basically 2 days of training. If you can't be there live, then we have video on demand. I have a 24/7 trading room that we collaborate. Everybody, again, this is where your growth takes place. So not only do we trade together, but you're going to learn from each other. And then there's constant training that I'm doing throughout those sessions. All right, so if you're interested in that, click here. You can learn more. Or send us an email at support@jenkinsrm.com. All right, guys, enjoy your evening. We'll talk to you in the morning.